You'll simplify using order of operations, starting at P and ending all the way through PEMDAS. When we want to start solving then, once it's fully simplified, then we'll turn around and undo going backwards. So for example, our first one, let's simplify anything we can and then solve. So is there anything to simplify in here first, Lily? 9x plus 1x is 10x's. 9x plus 1x is 10x's. Now you have 10x minus 7 equals 13. The simplifying part's done. Let's turn around and solve going backwards. So let's undo adding, subtracting first. So we add 7 to both sides and get 10x equals 20. Undo this multiplying by dividing and get x is equal to 2. Okay. Second one is very similar. I want to skip ahead to the third one, or the top right corner. What's this say? This says 4x minus 7 times all of this is equal to 26. If you recall when we talked about distributive property back in chapter 2, does anyone remember what I emphasized you should do if you have, say, subtraction and a distributive property? Please change these to plus negatives. If you don't, I can pretty much guarantee you're going to make a very easy mistake. An easy mistake can be avoided if you change all the subtractions into plus negatives. 4x plus negative 7 is equal to x plus negative 2. That all equals 26. Please change all of those to plus negatives before you start doing anything else. Once you do that, now we can use distributive property to simplify. So how about we multiply negative 7 to each of those? And we get what? 4x plus negative 7 times x is what? Negative 7x. And what's negative 7 times negative 2? Negative 7 times negative 2 is positive 14. The easy mistake to make, which you'll see below if you go do this on your own and forget to change the plus and negative, is that if you don't make this 7 plus a negative, you might just distribute x or 7 to each of these, and you'll end up with, say, something like 4 minus 7x minus 14. When we know that if we actually do our rules, we should get plus 14, not minus 14. Anyways, combine like terms. There's still more to simplify here. 4x plus negative 7x is negative 3x's. Plus 14 equals 26. Simplifying's done. Let's undo adding, subtracting. And get what? Negative 3x is equal to 12. And if negative 3x equals 12, what does x equal? Divide by negative 3. X is negative 4.
Really?
Check your work as we go. The middle one was d equals 4. The bottom left is 2w plus 3w plus 12 equals 27. 5w equals plus 12 equals 27. 5w equals 15. W is 3. Distribute negative 3x plus 4x minus 8 equals 15. 1x minus 8 equals 15. X equals 23. X equals 23. Again, as I said, this is not 14. To avoid making that mistake, you change each of those to plus negatives. If you change each of those to plus negatives and distribute, you get 6x plus negative 2x plus positive 10 equals 46. 4x plus 10 equals 46. 4x equals 36. By subtracting 10, x is 9, if you got it correct. So our strategy for eliminating fractions, if you have a fraction multiplied to an entire side, let's multiply by its reciprocal. It's the same as dividing by the fraction or multiply by its reciprocal. And if you multiply the left, you better multiply the right. A fraction times its reciprocal is just 1. So the only thing left on the left side is 2x minus 4. And now you just need to figure out what 15 times 5 over 3 is. Oh, sorry, 18 times 5 over 3. We can put a 1 under the 18. You could multiply 18 times 5, that's 90. 90 divided by 3 is 30. You could also do my fraction simplifying method, which was, say, 3 goes into itself once, 3 goes into 18 6 times, and now multiply across. 6 times 5 is 30. 1 times 1 is 1, so you get 30. You get 30 over 1. Or the right side is now equal to the number 30. And oh look, an equation now that you can solve a two-step equation with no fractions. All we did was multiply by the reciprocal. So now you could finish solving this problem. You could say add 4 to both sides, divide by 2, and go from there. Do the same thing if you see a fraction multiplied to an entire side. Multiply both sides by its reciprocal. Multiply both sides by its reciprocal. Okay. So the first one is we finish this off. 2x equals 34. X is 17. Multiply by 5 halves. Multiply by 5 halves. Eliminate the fractions and get 3r plus 4 is equal to, 10 times 5 is 50. 1 times 2 is 2. What's 50 divided by 2? 25. You could reduce this and say 2 goes into itself once, 10 goes into itself 5 times. 5 times 5 is still 25.
Wait,
And finish solving. Multiply by the reciprocal. Multiply by negative 5/4 and go.